We are on August 26th, and we have lots of things to preserve today. We have some garlic over here that Cameron's finishing, and Jack's working on peaches. But right now I want to talk about tomatoes. We're inundated, and I'm not sure what we're going to do with all these canned tomatoes. Perhaps sell them, perhaps give them away for Christmas. But here is the first step. After you bring in the nice tomatoes, a lot of these have mouse holes in them. Some of them are just actually straight up ripe tomatoes that are great, that we had too many for the CSA. And Jonathan and Pete are cutting them up, and we're going to cook them down in these 5-gallon pots. I just add a bunch of sea salt to it, cook them down for about 2 hours. Here is step 2 of the tomato processing job. We just get some of this nice, I try to get some of the cheaper rock salt. This is from Frontier. And then put that on in the pots, and they will sit here and simmer for not that long, maybe an hour or two. See how beautiful all these colors are. We've commented to Claire that she should probably try to get a few more red tomatoes in our mix next year. But anyway, beautiful tomatoes. Here we are with the tomatoes having been starting to cook, and I come in here with a big spoon and make sure to stir them so that they don't stick on the bottom of the pot. That's our biggest problem here, is that they stick on the bottom of the pot, so we don't want them to get smoky and unpleasant. Just step in that process of boiling them down. We are after the storm and no power because it took down all sorts of power lines, and so hard to know when we'll be back, but we've successfully boiled down those tomatoes and put them into these jars. We have these little lids we put on first, and then we put a ring on top of that to screw it on medium tight. And as soon as we have some power, we'll have some water, in which case I can boil these guys for 15 minutes each, and they will seal. But hard to know when that's going to be. Here we are in the final stages of the tomato canning. Last night I loaded them all up into jars, and this morning, now that we have our power back on and access to our water, I was able to start this pot up and put it to a boil, and then it came back to a boil, and we boiled these guys for 15 minutes and then take them out with this very important jar lifter. And you might have just heard that pop over on the edge. That means that they have sealed down and they are ready to eat.